time for Dave 101.
I have pondered for a long, long time whether or not we as human beings, even those involved in the UFO community, are ready for extraterrestrial contact. Are we ready for disclosure? Are we ready to know whether or not the extraterrestrial phenomena is very real as you and me? And I keep coming to the same conclusion. That answer is not on your life. Now, let me explain why. For the last week, here in British Columbia, we have been dealing with flooding, mudslides. In fact, almost every route to the coast near Vancouver to get to my house, where SOR headquarters is shut down. 5 different highways to get to from Vancouver to where I live, all shut down due to washouts, due to mudslides. It's an incredible natural disaster that has happened here. Happened 31 years ago when I lived in my hometown of Abbotsford. People will always come together. People will always help. There are good people on this planet. But here's what I have learned. There is no way in what I have seen over the last 2 years that humanity is anywhere close to dealing with a real major life-changing issue like extraterrestrials. Sure, we can be in denial that, oh, those aliens aren't here. No, they're not even existent. They're demons. They're whatever. You've been watching too many sci-fi movies. I get the point. But let me explain something. This is what I have seen in this past week. Where I live at SOR headquarters, all of our grocery chains are empty in their shelves. People are hoarding food, hoarding supplies, hoarding everything that they can get their hands on because there's no food. Vancouver's been cut off. There's no food. While these exact same morons forget that all the highways to Alberta and east to the rest of Canada are still open. And a bunch of the highways south of us in this beautiful country that we call the United States of America are open. And they have food as well. They have toilet paper. They have Metamucil. They have hygiene products, toothbrushes. They have apples, oranges, grapefruit, lettuce, tomatoes, and even food for the vegans. But here's my point. Twice now in the last couple of years, we have seen the absolute worst in humanity. People hoarding food, toilet paper, supplies, as I just said, not willing to help out their fellow human being because it's a free-for-all on trying to survive. Ladies and gentlemen who live in British Columbia, who are hoarding all of the food and all of the gas at the gas stations, guess what? There's more coming. We are not even close to being out of food. We're not even close to being out of gasoline. We're not even close of being out of anything. Why? Because the supply lines are open. It's the exact same thing that happened during COVID when the idiots went out there and started hoarding toilet paper, taking 8, 10-gallon jugs of milk for themselves. In the meantime, a single mother or an elderly person who couldn't get to the store on time had zero food to eat. It has been a disgusting display of humanity. How does this tie to aliens? Well, let me tell you. COVID has not been a major problem. Now, a lot of people will disagree with me on that. And I'm saying this, I am not a person who is an anti-vaxxer. I am for open choice. I am not a COVID denier because I've known people who have had it, and my cousin is a doctor, one of the smartest disease specialists in Canada, and I've talked to him. I don't watch the media when it comes to this crap. Okay? But there was no need to shut everything down for COVID. There was still food, there was still power, there was still cable, there was still internet, there was still medicine, there were still doctors, but we panicked. As a society, we panicked that we were going to run out of food, that we were going to run out of water, that we were going to run out of supplies. And if we didn't get them now, to hell with everybody else, we're going to get our stuff. We're going to stock up. We're going to be the people who can live off the land because our cellars are stocked. Taking all the canned food that they can, taking all the beverages that will last, from Coca-Cola to apple juice and every water jug in between. To hell with the neighbor. I'm taken care of. All right. Now we get to the flooding. The flooding here, we've seen the exact same replay as we saw COVID. And these idiots who are going to the grocery stores and literally ripping food from people who need it because I need to take home 4 bags of apples. No, you don't. They're going to go bad. I need to take home 8 gallons of milk. No, you don't. Milk will go bad by then. Nobody drinks that much milk unless you have children. And yet there's single moms out there, single dads out there, elderly people who cannot get their supplies. All right? We cannot take advantage of that, and we have been. So then if we add in the fact that we are going to have a real world problem, and right now it looks like there's going to be something very serious coming within the United States government. Why? They're starting to talk extraterrestrials. ETs lead to disclosure. We hope. And if that information starts to come out, as I have stated on this show numerous times, and I will repeat it again for Dave 101, humanity is not ready for the second biggest story in our history. It is not. Look at the way we've treated people. What are we going to do when an alien civilization arrives on this planet? Things are about to get real, potentially. It's going to affect the economies. It's going to affect the stock markets. It's going to affect every single religion on this planet. It's going to affect the paranoid. It's going to affect the sick. It's going to affect those who panic and those who are calm. Because just like an asteroid that is on trajectory for Earth, we are not prepared. I don't think anybody is really understanding the magnitude of what's going to happen if it does. If the government of the United States comes out and says, ladies and gentlemen, the extraterrestrials are real and they are coming, that changes the entire ball game of history. How long have they been here? How long have they greeted humankind? Did they help build this planet? It opens up a plethora of questions. Let's not forget, half this planet is still praying to one of the 5,000 religious deities on this planet. And many of those religions believe that anything from the sky is demonic and part of Armageddon. We are going to get those who panic, who are just not going to care anymore. And they will do what they feel they need to do because the aliens are coming. I'm not trying to preach doom and gloom here. But over the last couple of years, we've really, as human beings, painted that picture against ourselves by the way we've treated people, by the way we have torn each other apart, whether it's politically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's medically. And we have also learned that when disaster strikes, whether it's forest fires, tornadoes, flooding, avalanches, mudslides, it's all for one and one for all. But the problem is we forgot the one for all. You're on your own. Sure, you may have your little clique that you are going to be in your bubble with, that you're going to take care of each other at all times. But for the rest of the population, we've become uncaring. We've had a failure of understanding what it's like to be a human being. It's not fun. It's not fun to think about. And our maturity levels as a species have definitely eroded over the last couple of years. So if everybody here thinks that I'm ready for aliens, I'm ready for disclosure, I am ready for whatever the extraterrestrials bring, chances are you're not. Chances are you're not prepared. And that is potentially a brand new reality that is coming. We see Bill Nelson from NASA talking about extraterrestrials. High government officials in alphabet programs using the word extraterrestrially. They believe something is flying these craft, whether it's the Tic Tacs, the discs, the cigar-shaped objects, and they believe it's potentially from space. What are you going to do? How are you going to react? And if you have taken part in a natural disaster, or if you're the one of the idiots out there who's been hoarding food, diapers, beverages because of COVID, because of other natural disasters, shame on you. You're not ready. You're not ready to be a human. You're not ready to be someone who is helpful on this planet. You only care about yourselves, maybe your family, and a couple of friends. It's not the way to do this thing. Especially when disaster strikes or aliens land, we got to be in this thing together. We can only hope that any extraterrestrial contact that has happened or going to happen is of a beneficial nature and a benevolent nature. We can only hope. We hope that it's not like the movie Independence Day, where they're coming to annihilate us, maybe use us for slaves and food. Because I can tell you right now, old Davy here, he would be food. And I'm not ready to be an alien's meal or see my children put into slavery from any extraterrestrial species. But we have to wake up as a society. We have to wake up as humanity. We have to wake up as an individual person. Because this treating each other like crap and not helping out, it's gone too far. We've pushed way too many buttons. And sure, you know, the old saying, sharing is caring, it may sound mundane when everything is so deep and so hurtful and resentful today. And we don't know who to believe due to the mainstream media or the media that is of the alternative nature. How about we just start thinking for ourselves? Can we do that? Do we remember how to use that giant noodle in our brain that says, hey, this is the right thing to do and this is the wrong thing to do? We're allowed to do what's right. We're allowed to help people. We are allowed to help people prepare. And when someone is down and destitute, damn it, pick them up and help them. It's not that hard. We shouldn't even have to preach this. This should be just a natural upkeep for your fellow citizen and your fellow brother and sister, regardless of their race, their political affiliation, their sexuality, their religion. Who cares? They're breathing just like you, and their blood is the same color. So, do I have hope that humans are ready for anything bigger like extraterrestrials? Not a chance. Because we can't do it during a pandemic. We can't do it during some sort of natural phenomena. And we're not ready to do it for aliens. That's your thought of the Dave and your Dave 101.